In this week's episode, we bring you the Limpopo Youth Orchestra on their tour in the Republic of Ireland. An inspiring story of rural children who picked up a musical instrument for the first time a few years ago, who now make South Africa proud. It's amazing to see what happens when a child who is used to the predictability of life in a rural village like this one gets a chance to travel overseas. The Limpopo Youth Orchestra took its members, some who come from Mojadji's to the Republic of Ireland. For the first time, the poverty-stricken children got to experience a completely different world. This is Mojadji's, a rural village an hour away from Polokwane in Limpopo. Rebecca Mushobane lives here with her unemployed parents and younger brother. And this is how they spend most of their afternoons, knitting and selling clothes.
If batho ga ba di reke, then re tlhoka tšhelete ya go reka bupi, diaparo tša sekolo.
Rebecca's troubles at home reflect the community's main problem.
Their parents are not educated. I can say 70% of their parents cannot read and write.
Some parents, school principal Johanna Khomu tells us, allow their children to marry older men to escape poverty.
There are many children who are staying with older men. And you will find that those children, they are 12, 13, 12, even 11.
In 2004, a former music teacher came to Limpopo. She'd been looking for children to join her newly formed orchestra.
I was appalled to see the extreme poverty in the rural areas. You know, where young people are exposed, they are bored, there's no activities in the rural areas, there's nothing that gives most of the youth hope.
Simone Aronje had been on a self-discovery journey of her own, following 2 failed marriages in Cape Town and Johannesburg. She had taken selfless decisions, like selling her only car to fund her orchestra. Her arrival in Mojadji's brought new possibilities for children like Rebecca, who were touching a music instrument for the very first time.
Because I rata music. I used to listen to music like this orchestra. I used to listen it, so the time I was so very happy.
Following a lengthy financial struggle, Simone's vision attracted a major sponsor.
When I met Simone, it was when she was crying that she has formed the Limpopo Youth Orchestra. She goes to the rural areas, less and underprivileged homes. That's when I said, this woman seems to be knowing what she's doing.
The orchestra could now offer its 160 members much more than music.
We also wanted to make sure that our kids, that if you're a member of the orchestra, that you would succeed, you would be successful. So on a Saturday, we hire maths and science teachers who come onto the premises.
The kids also received crucial things like monthly groceries, school fees, books, and uniforms. And in March 2013, the Limpopo Youth Orchestra released its first music CD, collaborating with the best in the music industry. As they began traveling extensively, their performance impressed influential people.
I said, you know, it might be good to expose these young people to some different experience so that they can really see that it is possible to achieve and be able to maximize their potential even outside the borders of South Africa.
The orchestra received a formal invitation to tour the Republic of Ireland. And their sponsor covered all the expenses.
They met the requirements. We are so delighted because they are representing South Africa.
The good news meant that Rebecca Moshobane could start preparing to wave Mojajes Kloof goodbye.
Ke bile le toro ya re nka ya overseas, but next ha tsebe gore nka ba kae. Ke kwile ke thabile kudu.
Being part of the Limpopo Youth Orchestra opened a world of possibilities for Rebecca and her friends. Now they have a chance to live a life their parents could only dream of. After the break, from a little-known village to Dublin, we follow the Limpopo Youth Orchestra as they make South Africa proud overseas.